About your immune system. Sounds like a very exciting topic, right? I'm going to make it fun here tonight. But think about what's gone on in the past year. I think this is a necessary conversation. We need to focus on staying immune, staying healthy, getting our body functioning at its optimal health. Because our mission here at Max Living is we want people to live a happier, healthier, longer life without having to take pharmaceuticals to stay alive. Because be healthy? Yeah, I agree too. So I'm glad we have some people here tonight, which really needs, we have about 50 people watching right now at home. So that's pretty cool. And it's not because they're scared to be here, which is even better. That was last year, right? This year we're super busy because we have sports, and that's awesome. I'm fine with that. So I'm excited that those people at home, we did make it unlisted, so now you can actually comment. If you guys are watching at home tonight, you can comment, you can ask questions. Whitney's in the back running the whole show. I guess I should call you producer now. All right, you feel official producer Whitney. So if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about or anything that you want us to talk about, comment. She'll relay it to me. So again, our mission here is to change people's lives. I'm very blunt about it. I'm not here to crack your back and make you feel better. I want to help change your life because we know that healthcare is not what it used to be. It's not what it says it is. And we want to make a difference in our community. And we're not going to do that by helping mom, not dad. We're not going to we're not going to do that by helping the parents and not the kids. We're not going to help that by helping the kids and not the parents. We need people to make changes from the top down so that when our kids get older, they grew up in a household that made better choices. So when they have kids, guess what they're going to do? They're going to pass this stuff on. So that's really where we're at. But where we are now, though, is a little different. Raise your hand if these last 2 years have been weird. Scary. Yeah, my mom's like, she say, I've never experienced anything like this in my life. I'm like, great. I just think about our kids. What are they thinking this world is all about? It's not good. I mean, you think back last March, 2020, it was everybody just stay home for 2 weeks. Why? You remember what the reason was? Flatten the curve, right? And that curve was admissions to the hospitals. And then it was another 2 weeks. Then it was another 2 weeks. And then it had nothing to do with flattening any curve because there was no curve to flatten. But then you started watching the news and it became #1 news headlines of everything. And then we got scared. And then we were supposed to social distance, right? Physical distance is what I really should have called it. Right? Social distance. And then you have Fauci going on TV. Only the people that are infected should wear the masks. Okay, well, that made a little bit more sense. Not that the mask really helped with the virus anyway, but we did what we were told, right? People were doing what they were told. And then it was 1 mask is not good enough. Now it's 2 masks. By the way, I saw that the other day. Somebody was wearing 2 masks. I was like, okay. Again, before I even go further, I was going to tell you all, the world's been a weird place. I judge nobody. That is not my job. You feel like you're comfortable. This has been our policy from day one. I am not wearing a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. That's fine. If you want to wear a mask, that's fine. You don't want to wear a mask, that's also fine. I believe in freedom of choice to do the things that you want to do with your body. Okay? You are able to do those things. So, having said that, all of a sudden Fauci changed his voice to it's no longer about if you're infected, it's anybody has to wear a mask now. Because the asymptomatic are just as they're carrying it. They have the disease. And now we're going to fast track a vaccine because that's ever happened in the history of the world, right? How many years does it really take to get a vaccine to market? At least 5 years, right? But somehow they did it in 18 months, miraculously. How'd they do that with all the studies on humans and magic, right? Yeah, right? They're doing it on us. We're the ones that are being experimented on. And now the unvaccinated are the problem. The people who have freely thought that this doesn't make sense, we are now the problem. We are the infected. We are the ones that we should stay away from. So now you have to have a vaccine to go to certain things. I don't like that. That is discriminatory at its core. And I've very rarely been discriminated against. I mean, I'm a white male. Okay, I have the least amount of discrimination against me. In fact, I'm so undiscriminated against that's discriminatory, right? But I bought tickets to a concert of a new band that I was super excited to see. I bought them back in May, pre-sale. Dude, I got great seats. I'm psyched to go. It's in 2 weeks. And 3 weeks ago, the venue says, you have to be vaccinated, fully vaccinated, have both your doses and show your card to get in. Well, I sent them a couple emails. I started out somewhat nice, and when they continued to not respond to me and not give me my money back, I got angrier and angrier. I said, I thought we lived in the land of the free. Hell, I thought we lived in Georgia. Apparently not. Now, the good news is I was able to sell my tickets, and I sold them to a friend of mine who I thought I was going to go with. And he said, dude, why aren't you going to the show? And I said, well, I'm not getting a stupid shot in my arm to go see these guys. He's like, what the hell is going on with and this is great, because he said, listen, this is through text. I got vaccinated, but what the hell do I give a crap if you got vaccinated or not, if this vaccine is supposed to work? I don't get it. But apparently we're the problem because we free think. And now if you go against what your school says, you're a domestic terrorist. I mean, I'm trying not to go off here tonight because we're supposed to be talking about the immune system. I think it's all comes together. So, but all this crazy, fearful world we've lived in for the past almost year and a half for a virus that has a 99.75% survival rate. Something doesn't smell right. It hasn't since the beginning. And again, listen, I don't want to sound insensitive. There is a disease, there is a COVID-19 virus, and it has killed people that I know. But the facts are, it's the comorbidities, meaning you already have problems going on. And the statistics show that if you have one comorbidity, the chance of you dying from this COVID-19 increases 2.4 times. Every person that I know that's either had it or has died from it has at least one of those. So when this all went down a year and a half ago, my patients were freaking out, like many people did, living in fear because we didn't know what to do. They came here and said, Dr. Moss, what do we do? I said, well, have you been doing all the things I've been teaching you? No. Well, maybe you should start there. So if you guys were at home, I know the QR code didn't work very well, so we'll get another version of that to you. But that's a great way to find out, how are you doing? How well, how closely are you living that 5 essential max living lifestyle? Because the closer you can get to that, the healthier you should be, the less fear you should have, right? And the good thing is, it's not like, oh, I got an F. It's more like, hey, here are the places I need to work on, and let's set some goals. You don't exercise? We should start exercising. Right? You're living in fear watching the news? Oh, maybe that's the mindset's way off the chart. Let's bring that down a little bit. So use it as a tool because that's what it's for. So over these past year and a half, the CDC has really become the singular voice of health. Cannot be questioned, right? You question the CDC, how dare you? They come down with these mandates. I didn't know the CDC was in charge of our health, by the way. I don't know where that's written anywhere. It's not. It just happens to be what everybody listens to. And then you have all these schools and these counties and these states that are just rubber stamping approved because the CDC said so. Nobody's using their own brain about anything. And that, honestly, from the beginning, I told my wife, that scares me more than anything else. Nobody's thinking. They're just following. Sounds a lot like another country. About 80 years ago. Sheep led to slaughter. Scares the crap out of me, people. And I'm sure that I've had a lot of these conversations with a lot of you. It's scary stuff. But we're trusting the CDC because they're supposed to have our best interest in mind. Yet, there are whistleblowers at the CDC, many of them who have been silenced. And this right here, they are biased. And if you don't know that, you should. Oh, really?
Showing all the insiders, whistleblowers on CDC. Is wrong.
Yep. And it keeps happening, and then nobody does anything about it, or they're crazy, right? Yeah, of course, and so back in 2016, before any of this even happened, there was a group of doctors at the CDC who blew the whistle. And they said that the CDC was being influenced by corporate and political interests in ways that shortchanged taxpayers.
No, you're saying no way.
Are you surprised? I am not surprised. One of the CDC's #1 jobs is to create vaccines. They're a vaccine manufacturing company. So do you think they're going to profit a lot when they create new vaccines? Of course they do. They hold patents on tons of vaccines. So their job is to scare people into doing it, really. And it's a scary thing to think about, but I mean, bias, troubling conflicts of interest, history calls into question the scientific validity of recommendations even made by the CDC. Yet, CDC said so, do it. We need to free think. And free thinking is probably, what is that? I mean, that happened in the 60s, right? People thought differently than the government, and then that became enemy #1 of the government. It's happening again. We're being targeted because we are thinking differently. And I think that's a good thing. I think we have to. But so under the CDC's direction of our health, look how well they've done. This is their scorecard. One of the highest infant mortality rates in the industrialized nations. Half the children have at least one chronic disease. Pediatric cancer is the leading cause of death after accidents. 1 in 7 children are on an antipsychotic. 1 in 6 children are learning disabled. I mean, it just keeps going. 1 in 12 suffer with asthma. 1 in 5 are diagnosed with an emotional, mental, or behavioral disorder. 1 in 5 are obese. 1 in 13 have allergies. And now it's 1 in 59 children born in the United States are autistic. That is ridiculous. And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, and these are the people we're supposed to be listening to, right? These are the people we're supposed to be listening to. Do you guys think that this is maybe not the right thing to do? Listen to these folks? Do you think that we deserve to choose what we put into our body? Yeah, I agree. And what's really awesome, and I want you guys, did we pass out those Stand for Health Freedom cards? Whitney's going to give these to you, but you might want to write it down also. standforhealthfreedom.com. This is an organization that was started by one of my Max Living friends. He's a chiropractor up in Indianapolis. His wife, we call her a lioness. She's pretty, she's nice, don't mess with her. She is an attorney and she knows her stuff. And her job is for us to stand together to keep us free, to do what we believe God put us on this earth to do. Because listen, God put me on this earth, Fauci didn't, the government didn't, okay? If God wants me to put a vaccine and chemical in my body, so be it. But you know what? You're not going to tell me, mister, to put something into my body because you don't own my life. God owns my life. Yes, Jen?
Have the website in .what?
.com. Okay. It is .com. And it's free to be a member. I highly suggest every single one of you become a member. I want you to share it on Facebook and share it with all of your friends. Because when something is going down, like mask mandates or vaccine mandates or losing religious exemptions, stuff like that, they're on it. And all you do is they'll even email you an alert. Something's going on here. We need you to write your constituent. As a constituent, write your senator, your representative, whatever it is. It's super easy. They click the link, you go, your name's already in there because you're already logged in. The letter's already written. Send email. Done. You did your part. And now we're going to flood that senator's email box with constituents like us concerns. Because remember that your senators, your representatives, they work for us. We are the people. But if we don't tell them how we feel, they're going to do what everybody else is doing, just going with the flow. They will follow. It's easier to follow, isn't it? Yeah. So I really want to make sure that everybody has that. Tell your friends. It is a powerful tool to have. So again, under the CDC's direction, we are the sickest industrialized nation in the entire world. Out of 37 countries they studied, we were dead last. However, we spend more money on our health than any other country in the world. We take more medication than any other country in the world. And they call that what care? Health care? It's not health care. We've been duped. The wool's been pulled over our eyes because we all think it's health. That is not health. That is sick care. Wait till you get sick, then go treat it instead of true health care, because health comes from where? Inside. God put a power inside of us that heals us. This is where it comes from. As a Max Leving doctor, my job is to do one thing: remove interference so that God can heal you. I mean, that's my favorite. I mean, that's really the only reason why you guys are getting adjusted, right? Because we want to heal better. And as you start to heal better, things like back pain go away. Things like AFib go away. And heart issues that you didn't even tell me about go away. Amazing stuff can happen when it's not being interfered with. And right now, we have collateral damage, and a lot of it has to do with our kids. Kids, I hate the world that we're living and how our kids are seeing it, because it's not how it's supposed to be. We as men and man are ruining it for our children. I think about it every day. I just want to pull the plug, go live on an island, fish all day, and do nothing else, and just feed my family off the land and F everybody else. I'm sure we've all thought about that, right? Yeah. But right now, the collateral damages our kids. Suicide attempts are up a lot, 50% higher than 2 years ago. Disgusting. Kids are thinking about it if they're not doing it. It's in this study. Anxiety, depression, adults, 1 in 10 before pandemic, 1 in 5 now. That's probably one of the worst things I've seen in my practice. People's backs aren't hurting more, but people are stressed. They have people that never had anxiety are like, Dr. Moss, what is this feeling I'm having? I'm like, that's anxiety. I'm having some, and I have no reason for it, I feel like, but you know what? We're all under a lot more stress than we've ever had been before, and then we're supposed to go on with our life and take our kids to here, here, and here, and there's a lot going on. And then you add the world being wacko, it's a lot to handle. And the problem here is those negative emotions decrease your immune system. Just what we need during a pandemic, right? We need less immune? No, we need more immune system. Man, this has been very serious so far, and I feel like we could laugh, and I really wish I put a slide in here right now of babies laughing. Because you've seen those videos, they're hilarious. And one good thing about babies laughing is you laugh, right? They're funny, I love it. But when you laugh, you actually boost your immune system. Did you guys know that? It's immense. It lasts for 2 or 3 days. It's amazing stuff. But when we're scared, fearful, it depresses our immune system. So what do we need to do more of? Let's laugh. We do have a live baby, and he's a funny guy. But he's just walking back and forth. He got his adjustment a little bit ago. He was just sitting on the table like, you ready? Let's go, dude. Come on, adjust me already. Let's go. Love it. So again, the generation living in fear, we need to stop creating all this fear. We need to, listen, if you're watching TV, stop. When it comes to like news, do kids watch that stuff? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone out to dinner and there's TV on, and it's always the news. I'm like, waiter, please shut that off. Nobody needs to be watching that, let alone my kids. And what do they put on? Every time, I swear. MMA fighting instead. I'm like, really? Really? And now we're eating Mexican, where blood's squirting on the thing. I'm like, awesome. Great. So again, turn off the media. You feel a lot better. Turn off social media. You feel a lot better. Because social media is probably the worst thing that's ever been invented for the human psyche. Here's a couple reasons why. You only really post, well, unless you're one of those posters like, hey, I just went to the bathroom and I just had, I just ate this. Okay. But most people, they send out pictures of happy days, right? Those are called highlight reels. And they're constantly pushing out highlight reels. And then what do? You look at their highlight reel and you automatically think, what a great life they're living. Why am I not living like that? And then what do? You automatically feel bad about yourself. You can't compare your everyday life to somebody's highlight reel, and that's what we do when we see Facebook. Or something bad's happening and we send prayer hands and that does nothing, right? So we need to switch our paradigm. And right now is the time to do it. And a lot of you, thank God, have already done it because you're here at this practice and you guys have learned a lot from us already. But there's a lot of people that don't know what you already know, let alone what you're about to learn. And right now, the paradigm that we all live in is called the germ theory. And that's what medicine is based upon. And that's what everybody goes towards. They take no responsibility for their health. It's just the virus's fault, the bacteria's fault. I didn't get the right vaccination. I didn't get the right medication in time. I mean, think about it. How many people were lined up to get this vaccine, let alone they didn't think about, wait a minute, does this even make sense? What else could I have been doing? I mean, think about it. If this was really that bad, wouldn't they be teaching us on TV how to get healthy? But instead, they're like, don't do anything. We're coming for you, and we're going to give you the shot that's going to fix everything. So don't you dare change anything. But you have to wear a mask after, and you shouldn't be around anybody that's not vaccinated because they're the problem now. So my vaccine has to work for yours to work. That makes lots of sense. Yes, it blows my mind. Okay. Again, no judgment. That is not my job. If you've been vaccinated, doesn't matter to me. Okay. If that's the right choice for you, fantastic. But if you've been vaccinated and regret doing it, talk to me. We need to do some things. We got some work to do to help get some of that stuff that's in there out of you and how to build your immune system back up. Okay? So modern medicine is based upon what's called the germ theory. Louis Pasteur in 1860 discovered it. And basically what his theory was, there's these little microbes called germs that are sitting waiting for you. And they go into your body, they infect you, and that's what causes disease. And we've all bought into that, by the way. If you live in this world, we've all bought into it because it's everywhere. I mean, think about it. We wash our hands. Why? We don't want microbes on them. Hand sanitizer, right? We wash everything. I mean, it's hard to get out of that, right? Yeah. But this is unfortunately the accepted viewpoint. However, it does have flaws. And what's interesting is that when you are exposed to germs, does it automatically kill you? Does it automatically cause disease? No. Whether or not someone actually gets sick from this germ really depends on how strong their host is. So if I have a very strong immune system because I've been working at it, and somebody next to me has done nothing for themselves, and we both get exposed to the same virus, who do you think is going to express symptoms and get sick? This person. So B.J. Palmer, who's one of the forefathers of chiropractic, had this to say: if the germ theory of disease were correct, there'd be no one living to tell about it. Because we'd all be dead. We would never have made it this far. So there is another theory. You've probably never heard of it. It's called the terrain theory. If you've heard of it, probably were here at another workshop, maybe, or went to chiropractic school, maybe, I don't know. Antoine Béchamp, and his terrain theory was about how good is your environment, how healthy is your environment. His thought was the environment is what attracts the disease. So you have two fish in here in a fishbowl. Well, this guy here, poor guy, we forgot to change his water for a month. Look how nasty it is. What's going to happen to that fish? It's going to get sick. It's going to die. How do we fix that? Well, we change his water. What's going to happen? He's going to get healthy again, right? It's not that hard to figure that out. But so his perspective really was this. It has to do with whether you get sick or not depends on three things. How much of the virus you're exposed to, how strong the virus impacted your immune system, and what is the overall strength of your immune system. That one makes a lot more sense. And this is a decent analogy. This is my favorite analogy. You're driving down the road. On the left side, you have beautiful green pasture. On the right side, you have a garbage dump. And what's at the garbage dump? What's attracted to the garbage dump? You have crows and what are those, vultures? Rats and flies, all this nasty stuff, right? So we don't want those there. So what we could do one day is say we want to get rid of all this. So we're going to pull up a chair, get out a gun, and just start pop, 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 shooting them all down. Okay, so you spend all day there, you shoot them all, get rid of all the flies, you get everything. It's all dead. Great. You go home, you come back the next day, what's there again? More, right? I mean, logic says, why is this happening? Oh, there's crap there to eat. It's stuff that's there attracting them. Well, you know what? Why don't we just take them and not be so mean? Let's not kill them all. Poor things didn't do anything wrong. Let's just shoo them across the road over here. How long do you think they're going to stay there? A few minutes. You're going to turn around. They're going to be back here before you did, flying over your head because there's nothing there for them. Green pasture is our goal for our body and our immune system. If you have a garbage dump of a body, a couple of things here. One, it's going to attract the germs. It's going to attract the flies. It's going to attract all the bad stuff, and you are the one that's going to get sick. But the good news is you can clean it up. You can clean it up and make green grass grow again. I mean, I find that to be a very fantastic analogy because it really just makes sense that we need more green grass and less garbage dump. I would never call you garbage dump to your face, at least not right.
You're afraid of backlash.
Yeah, I would. You shaking my hand before, it hurts. You did, and I do appreciate that because I do want to shake your hand, but I don't want to hurt my wrist anymore. All right, so what we really need to do is start focusing on the host. This is honestly what we should have been doing from day one with all this stuff going on for everybody, not just the people in my office, but we all should be focusing on the host. And whether you realize it or not, your immune system is fighting right now. It's constantly in a battle with viruses and bacteria and mold. It's constantly doing things to keep you healthy. And it has, of course, it has the vital role of fighting this stuff, but it consists of different parts. There's different parts of your immune system. Now, I'm going to just preface all this by telling you, I spent hours researching for this tonight. You don't want to know most of what I've learned. Not that it's bad, it's just mind-boggling technical words that you don't want to know. So I'm going to make it easy for everybody to understand. So we have two immune systems. We have what's called the innate immune system or non-specific immune system. Then we have the adaptive immune system, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. The innate immune system is really there. It's innate, meaning it's going to be there, but non-specific means it doesn't care what it is that's happening. It's going to attack anything that's not supposed to be there. Anything it recognizes as not normal, it's going to attack. Okay, so you have a couple different parts of your innate immune system. You have physical barriers like your skin. Imagine if we had no skin. We were just open wound at all places. We wouldn't last very long, right? So we have a physical barrier of a skin. On that skin is actually good bacteria, things that are living on your body to help keep balance. We also have our mucous membranes, mucus itself, chemical secretions, digestive enzymes in the mouth and in the stomach. They're there to destroy things that are not supposed to be there. And if mucus is there to get rid of things, right, to protect and eliminate. We also have internal defenses like the inflammatory response. We have different proteins, phagocytic cells, and we have what are called natural killer cells. That sounds pretty cool. Natural killer cells? Yeah. These things are nasty and they are awesome. So I have a video for you guys to see, and it's pretty cool. It is your cells killing things that shouldn't be there. So watch this. So those are your natural killer cells, or the white blood cells killing a cancer cell. So that is that big guy there, that's a virus, and it's destroying it. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, look at that. That is a neutrophil, or white blood cells chasing around bacteria. And this is happening right now inside of all of us. So this is a T cell that comes from your thymus, which is right here. That's why it's called a T cell. And it is going to destroy these cancer cells. Now, cytotoxic T cells, they're actually B cells. What they do is they attach and then they inject cytotoxins and destroy it. I mean, crazy. Look like aliens, don't they? That's our team, though. So it grabs it and injects it. So I mean, right there is proof that your body can kill cancer. I mean, we see it right there. Yet we've been told that you can't do that without modern medicine. You need chemotherapy. You need radiation therapy. Maybe not so quick. Your body can't heal from everything and anything. So now we have what's called the adaptive immune system. So the way our immune system works is, let's say we get exposed to a virus. You have your natural killer cells that find it and start to destroy it. But you have other cells that come and recognize it. So it keeps a memory. So if you were to be infected by it again, it says, oh, we've seen this guy before. I know his weakness. You hit him here, here, and here. It's kind of like, what is it, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? 2 uppercuts and then you know how to get him down. One guy knows what I'm talking about, maybe 2. Okay, sorry, dated myself and sorry. Okay, so, but it knows. So like if you had the chicken pox, the real chicken pox, we're old enough to probably have had the real chicken pox. Yeah, we have lifetime immunity. You know why? Because of this immune system. It got it, it recognized it, and guess what? You've had chicken pox again. You just didn't know it. Because you're gonna, I mean, your kids have it, guess what? You're gonna get it, but you're never gonna know it because your body's like, I already got this, get them out of here. I've seen this guy before. That's how our immune system is supposed to work. Now, we have something called natural immunity, which is what we just talked about, and then we have artificial immunity, which is a vaccine or immunization. So when you got the chicken pox, how did you get it? Did it crawl in through your skin? Or did you breathe it in? You breathe it in. Where does it go? In your nose, mucous membranes, it goes in your mouth, and you start to create an immune response right here. That is one type of immune response. That creates lifetime immunity. Then you have the stuff that is injected. So now they're telling kids that we're supposed to do chickenpox vaccinations. So now they're taking what we got naturally and sticking it in a vial and putting it into the skin. Is getting a virus through the skin like that natural? No. So we're not going to get natural immunity. We're going to get artificial immunity, which is why you're going to need boosters because it's not going to last forever. So right now, what's interesting to me, a lot of us have been vaccinated. I have been vaccinated when I was a child, okay? If you haven't had a booster lately, guess what? You're not vaccinated anymore. You're not immune to anything anymore. But we all thought we were because we got the shots when we were kids. It lasts forever. No, that's not how it works. So what do you think is better, natural or artificial immunity? Absolutely. However, last night I was doing some research on just vaccinations. I want to see what are they talking about now? What's the difference between natural and artificial? First of all, I couldn't find anything that had nothing to do with COVID-19, which was really annoying because I didn't give a crap about what was going on with COVID. Not what I was looking for. But I couldn't find anything other than that. And I saw a bunch of articles that's saying, I can't believe people think that natural is better than artificial. And I was like, ooh, do I even want to click this? Like, how much my heart rate's going to go up? My adrenaline, I mean, how long do I have to go before bed? Because my adrenaline gets kicking, I'm not sleeping. I clicked it. I read a few sentences and I unclicked it. I was like, you guys are ridiculous. People really believe that natural immunity is not as good as the artificial stuff. Cannot believe it. But so for the artificial stuff to even create a response, so a lot of you guys know what vaccines are and shots are. They actually take weakened or dead viruses and put it into you too. Now, in theory, it makes sense. Give your body a little bit of it. It's not going to kill you. Let your body attack it. Create those B cells. Create the memory. See it again. You'll be immune. And then when they forget about it, let's get you a booster. I mean, again, I come from the medical field, medical mindset. I was going to be a medical doctor. Okay, so that made a lot of sense to me. But then I started thinking, well, again, not supposed to go in here, but through the research, you see that that little bit of virus was not enough to incite an immune response. So what do? They add heavy metals into your vaccinations. aluminum. Those are forever chemicals, forever stuff that's not supposed to be in your body ever. But that's what they had to do to get your body to even react to it. Do you want that in your children? What is the number one cause of Alzheimer's is aluminum deposits in the brain, right? And we're giving them day one. We're giving children Hep B day one. Insane. I have no idea who said that was a good idea or why anybody would agree to that. So, and then of course there's a plethora of preservatives in these little vials, and they do not preserve you any longer. They're not for you. What are they for? It's the shelf life. But now we're injecting that into our children. And then we can talk about mercury and autism, but that's a whole nother topic. We don't need to go into that. But in 1983, back when I was getting dosed, by age 6 months, 5 vaccine doses of 15 different antigens. By age 6, it was 10 doses of 30 different antigens. In 2018, by age 6 months, 19 vaccine doses of 81 different antigens. By age 6, it's 33 doses of 130 different antigens. And what has been happening? So this is amazing. The federal government has acknowledged that vaccines are unavoidably safe. I don't even know what that means. I've been trying to figure unavoidably safe. That's a quote. I don't understand that. But did you guys know this one? Pharmaceutical companies have no liability. Zero. But they force you. Well, they trick you into thinking that you're being forced. I can't. It irks me to no end when I have a mom come in here and goes, "I just got his shots." I'm like, "Did you do any research?" "Well, no, but the doctor said she couldn't get into school." I'm like, liar. He lied to you and he fear-mongered you into doing what he thought you needed to do. He gave you no. He didn't care what you thought, and he gets bonused for that. Pediatricians get bonus for it. Blue Cross, it's on their website. You can see it if you want. They get.
The main sponsor for the pediatric officers is Pfizer.
Oh,
One of the main ones. So that's why they're telling the children they can get the Pfizer.
oh. So Pfizer's now
They sponsor
sponsoring
American
American Academy. Okay, so Pfizer, you said.
Fuzzy and stuff.
Yeah, so
We should talk about it now.
no, but
Sorry.
I want people at home to hear that. So Pfizer is sponsoring the American Academy of Pediatrics, which is why your pediatrician is going to recommend the Pfizer vaccination. That sounds like America, right? Yeah,
The big banks,
yeah.
right, have a 3 million rand, what can I say? If you get vaccinated this month, you stand a chance to win 3 million.
Oh, of course. And that, again, so when it comes to the COVID vaccine, so if this was such a big, scary disease and the vaccine was so safe, wouldn't we all be running to get it? Like I joke, but you know, you've seen those movies where people turn into zombies. I'd be scared of that one. That virus scares me. You seen the movie Outbreak? That one scares me a little bit. Getting a cold does not scare me. But for some reason, they are forcing vaccines on people. Or, like you were saying, you could lose your job. Okay, so now we're taking your job away if you don't do what we say. This is sounding more and more like some other country in Europe. 80 years ago. It's ridiculous. But what's even crazier to me is even if you've had COVID and you're now have antibodies for it, they still make you do it. Well, that proves that this is a complete BS. This is a control thing. This has nothing to do with science, has nothing to do with anything other than you do what we say or you're out. Craziness. Or you can win $1 million, like you said. We can win $1 million if you do it. Enter to win. Right there. Can I do it twice? Double my chances. So 30 years ago, the pharmaceutical industry, they profited $750 million on our children and the vaccination schedule. In 2018, 70 billion. Ridiculous.
So here's how you know it's a scam, right? So my company, I work for Xerox, sent an email yesterday saying if you don't get vaccinated by November 24th, you lose your job.
It's full lies, you know,
Okay.
it's full lies.
But here's the thing, is when I signed up, it's 100% remote, work from home, never travel, never see a client, but they're still forcing it down the throat. For what reason?
My other patient the other day who was all upset, same thing. She's never even been to her office because it's in Chicago. she works 100% from home and they're telling you lose your job if, or get vaccinated. Like, again, there's nobody thinking for themselves. We need to stand up like the Southwest pilots said, no, we do not comply. We are not going to do this. And guess what? You're going to lose a lot of money because you have nobody to fly your damn airplanes.
Last thing I'll say is I've generated $1 million in sales in 8 months, and now they want to cut my job. So is that really worth the money loss?
Doesn't sound like it.
You don't get that.
It's crazy.
Doesn't-
I know I don't get paid that, but
No, but still,
they lose it.
I think we just need to, I don't know what we need to do.
It's so
You want to go to the island with me?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. It's just ridiculous. And now on the CDC website, it states right there that there is no federal requirement for informed consent for immunizations.
I thought it was Nuremberg trial,
It should be.
but I thought that's where that came from.
Mhm. Yeah.
I thought so.
So it's like, well, then why is this on there? I don't understand.
Well, his job is for the Second Amendment.
Freedom of religion. Yes. So if anybody is going to lose their job or threatening to get their job taken from them for not complying, email me. Okay. I have some resources I can get to you that will help you through this time. And again, the truth is being censored. If you think of, so raise your hand if you use Google. Good. I see some hands down. So I now use DuckDuckGo.
Use that,
Yes, because they don't track what I do, which sometimes can be annoying when I want to know where I was. Where's that recipe? I know I looked at it like 2 weeks ago and it's not there. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what you pay for, right? But most of us use Google. Most of the world uses Google. And as of 2019, convenient, late 2019, they decided to change their algorithms. So if you think of this as Google's a library, it's a search, right? So if I want to search something, I want to see everything there. Well, they decided to change what they're going to show you in their library. So when you Google GMOs are, there's a little suggestion box that comes down. And tell me if this sounds familiar. When you see that, you think that this is what everybody else has been searching. This is the top 10 searches on GMOs, right? That's what we've all thought, and that's what it used to be. No longer true. What they're showing you now is what they want you to think other people are searching for. And I have the proof. So this page right here is a Google Analytics page for these searches. Now this is a little confusing, so I'm going to have to break it down for you. But the blue, this is GMOs are good. So obviously not as high as GMOs are bad. Okay, well let's go back. GMOs are good is number 1. GMOs are bad is not even in there. What did they do? I don't want people knowing that they're bad, so we're just going to take it out. That doesn't sound good. Well, that doesn't sound good either. Is he yakking on something? Cough it up. All right. So here's another one. Vaccines cause adults. I don't know what that means, and I don't think anybody in the world has ever looked that up on purpose. But the good news is it causes SIDS, ADHD, adults meaning some weird things on there, right? Okay, so remember what was the number 1 on there? Vaccines cause adults. Basically 0 people search for that. The number 1 was vaccines cause autism. Go back. Not on there. Proof that they are censoring because they want you to think what they want you to think. Yeah. Scary stuff. And it's going to be hard to fix in your brain because we've all been trained to think that way. But when you go to DuckDuckGo, and I cannot remember, do they give us suggestions? I don't think they do.
They
No.
also censor the results. So
They do.
You-
Oh, they don't censor the results? Yeah.
No, you'll get nothing back.
So DuckDuckGo would be a better,
It's not more reading.
it is more reading, but we don't really go to the second page anyway. If it's on the first page, it must be true. Yeah. So again, you got to be careful who you listen to. So this is awesome. I read this over and over and over again this morning to the point where when I was practicing for today, I texted Whitney in the middle. I'm like, we need to make these. We need to make them magnets and we need to give them to everybody. So last minute, we went out. What am I talking about? My staff did all this fantastic work for you and printed this out. And I want you to look at this. And I really want you guys to put this on your refrigerator. just so you can look at it. So when you're feeling like you're living in fear instead of faith, you can read this and remember. The body is a self-healing and self-regulating being. The body is designed intelligently to adopt and adapt to its environment. The body, the power that made the body, heals the body. The body is always doing the right thing at the right time. That's a big one for you guys to have that faith in. And the body needs no help. It just needs no interference. So, okay, so if you guys at home would like one of those magnets, we'd be glad to give one of those to you. Just text Whitney at the front desk or put it in your comment, and we'll be glad to have one for you guys. Because I think that we just need to give them out to everybody because it's that awesome. The more you read it, the more it makes sense. And these are some of the chiropractic principles that we live by and we teach because we know it's the truth. It's how God created every single one of us. So the Max Living approach to health is basically living a life congruent with how God created every single one of us. And it's not that difficult if you understand this. And basically, in a nutshell, it means give your body more of what it needs and less of what it doesn't, and your body will pay you back in better health. Sounds easy to do, and it's not really that hard to do. So, but it all really starts with core chiropractic. Most people think of chiropractic for back pain, neck pain, accidents, and headaches, right? I understand that. Unfortunately, the insurance industry has created that and given us a rap of that's our specialty, and that has nothing to do with chiropractic. Can we help with those things? Sure, but that's not what I do. I don't adjust anybody in my practice to get rid of their pain. I adjust them to remove interference from their nervous system so their body can heal, reestablishing the connection between the power of God in your brain and your body and organs and cells and tissues. And again, you go back to this, the last one, your body needs no help. It just needs no what? Interference. You remove the interference, your body will heal. How long is that going to take? I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. But it needs no what? Interference. Number 2, nutrition. So we can find interference in all 5 of these aspects. There's interference in the way of subluxation, misaligned bone in your spine, putting pressure on the nerve, choking off life to the body. That's interference with the power of God going through your body. What about nutrition? What if your body, you're not giving your body good food? Well, if you're eating sugar and trans fats, you're going to cause inflammation. You're going to cause depressed immune system. That's interfering with the body's ability to heal, right? Whose fault is that? It's yours. Take responsibility. It is what it is. Change it. You can fix it. Mindset. Where does health come from? Inside or outside? Inside. Does it come in a shot and a vaccination? No. Does it come in pill form? No. It comes from inside out. When you start to live that way and understand that, your decisions will be different. Oxygen and exercise. If you're not exercising, and some of us are, some of us aren't, it's okay. It's never too late to start. We need oxygen in our cells. We need to be burning fat. Fat harbors toxins. It releases hormones that should not be released. Okay? If you don't have oxygen in your cells, guess what those cells become? Cancer. Nobody wants cancer. Get more oxygen to your cells. That's why we have our Max T3 program. I mean, 36 minutes a week of working out is all you need. No excuses anymore, right? I don't have time for that. Oh, come on now. There's 168 hours in a week. You can find 36 minutes. Oh, minimizing toxins is the last one. And where do we find toxins? Everywhere, which is why we need to be our own advocate. We need to learn how to read labels. We need to understand what's good, what's not so good. Okay, so when we minimize our exposure to toxins, our body has a better chance of fighting. Because my whole goal for you is this right here. Faith over fear. I want you to have faith in you're doing the right thing. I want you to have faith that your body knows what it's doing. It's always doing the right thing at the right time. But you have to have faith. Because as soon as you get fear, you're going to start looking outside again. Now, we are talking about, yeah, go ahead, Rich.
I was going to say the thing with toxins too is that's where the water comes in because that can help flush out a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're not drinking enough water.
Good water, right? Not toxic water.
Yeah, not from the tap.
Right, not from the tap water, right? True, it's true, absolutely. Water is very important. So viruses, we need to talk about this for a minute. And people don't really know what viruses are. Some people I've read think that they're aliens. It's pretty interesting to think that because they are parasites. They're weird. And really, they're just a combination of molecules and carbohydrates and proteins. And what they do is they float around. There's trillions of viruses in this room right now. Are you guys scared? No, why? Because you have an immune system. Oh my gosh, how about it, right? Right. Trillions. And they are microscopic to the point where when they see your little blue mask that people wear, it's like going like through a chain link fence. Masks, I'm sorry. I mean, again, some of us have worn them, some of us have not worn them. Again, no judgment. But my point is, they don't stop a virus. I'd say 99 out of 100 people that wear them incorrectly. They're not wearing the right ones. They made them at home. The air is coming up here. It doesn't do anything. It's just compliance. We need to stand up and say absolutely not, because it doesn't make any sense. Again, we need to use our brain and use science, real science, not the stuff on TV. So what do viruses do? They go into our body and they find a cell and they attach to it. They inject their DNA into that cell to use its engine of DNA making to make their DNA instead. And instead of replicating your human cell, what do? They replicate their cell. Now, the natural killer cells are supposed to go find that and destroy it before it happens. If it starts getting out of control, we start calling in the T lymphocytes and the T cells, the B cells, and really go on a whole a big fight against these viruses. But that's what viruses actually do. They're not crawling on your body. Okay, that's not how things work. But again, you watch TV and they'll tell you just about anything to scare you. And we have our built-in lines of defense, right? We have our skin, we have the mucous membranes, we have our second line of defense, which is your natural killer cells, your phagocytes. This is your innate immune system. And if that can't handle it, it brings in the big guns, the B cells, the T cells, CD4 cells. I mean, there's, again, a lot of letters, a lot of numbers. You don't need to know all that. Your body knows what it's doing. Trust it. Okay. Now, I can't talk about the immune system without talking about the gut. 70% of your immune system actually is in your gut. Now, do we all think bacteria is bad? All bacteria? No. You guys have been to workshops before. So you guys know a lot of this stuff, which is good. So no, we actually, this is crazy to think about. Our body is made of 70 trillion cells. We have 200 trillion bacteria cells in our gut right now. So we're actually more bacteria than we are human. Weird to think about, right? Yeah. And that bacteria is good bacteria. And what's good bacteria called? Ooh, is it called woo-woo? What's that? Normal flora. Okay, doctor. True. Yes. She went to chiropractic school. It's actually called probiotics, but the normal flora is very right. And there's a balance of good and bad bacteria, and that is called our microbiome. Do you guys remember that from that last workshop? Microbiome, fun thing to say. So what's interesting is that bacteria actually is connected to all of our body. It communicates through chemical messengers throughout our whole body. And one of the purposes of that good bacteria is to recognize bad bacteria, viruses, pathogens, and create an immune response. Good stuff, right? Sounds pretty important? Yeah. So our gut health is very important to us, which is why we need to be taking probiotics and good healthy foods and not destroying it with bad stuff. And if you want to learn more about that, you can always go to our YouTube channel and watch our Love Your Guts workshop from earlier this year. I go in depth about this. I don't want to spend too much more time here because we don't want to be here till 10 o'clock. But when you go to a doctor, you don't feel good. Most of the time they give you a what? A prescription for antibiotic. Even when it's a virus, they give you an antibiotic. They're like, here's your antibiotic that you probably came here for. Just go take it. That's not a good idea. Because what do antibiotics do? What do they kill? Bacteria, right? Do they care which one it is? No, they kill all bacteria. So are they going to take care of the infection? Yeah. What else are they going to do? Destroy all of your probiotics, all of your good bacteria, all your normal flora, destroying your microbiome, causing something called dysbiosis. Everybody say dysbiosis. Dysbiosis. That means too much bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria. We're not out of balance. And when that happens, and we didn't do anything about it, guess what happens? Bad bacteria takes over, we get sick again. You ever have a kid have an ear infection, you take them to the doctor, automatically look in the ear, oh, it's a little red, here's an antibiotic. And then 4 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you're right back in there. Why? Because you destroyed their gut, giving them something that was supposed to fix them. What should antibiotics really be used for? Emergencies. Listen, if I have a blood infection and I'm dying, I have 104 fever, my body's fighting hard, but or gangrene, like, yeah, that's when you might think about it. But you blow your nose and you're a little stuffy and it comes out a little yellow. Is that an emergency? Should I really destroy my immune system for that? No. Oh, I have the white spots in the back of my throat. I might have strep throat. Should I go to the doctor and get antibiotics? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Heck no. Am I dying from my sore throat? No. Again, save it for when it's an emergency. Okay? Now, the CDC, they said something smart, estimates about 47 million antibiotic courses each year are prescribed for infections that don't need antibiotics in the U.S. doctor's offices. 30% of all antibiotics prescribed shouldn't have been. And I bet you money, it's a lot more than that. It does seem kind of low, but when you think of 47 million courses, still seems like a lot percentage-wise. I mean, how do we even know? I mean, it's, again, same thing with the VAERS, the vaccine, reactions. How many are really reported? Less than 1% are reported. And people are dying of the vaccine. I'm sorry, the shot. It's not a vaccine. My wife would kill me if she's probably watching now going, you should have said that. Because it's not a vaccine. It is a shot. Just like the flu vaccine is not a flu vaccine. That's why we call it the flu what? Shot. Because it doesn't, you don't get immune from it. Again, I don't want to, there a carton I can stand on and just keep going? Soapbox? All right, so let's keep going. Sugar in the immune system. Sugar is an immune system downer. What do you say? What are you so excited about, Michael? Donuts looking good? He's hungry. He's like, are you serving food here tonight? You said it to me 2 hours. I'm like, you should have eaten already. All right, I'm going to give you a bar here. Take that. All right. But some estimates from the U.S. government, I don't know why we're trusting this, but whatever. The survey says average Americans consume 152 pounds of sugar every year and another 133 pounds of flour. Now, I have a pet peeve when I ask patients this. I say, are you eating sugar? And they say, no, I don't eat sugar. I'm like, okay, so just to help you out, what did you have for yesterday's meals? Well, I had oatmeal at breakfast with some toast, then I had a sandwich for lunch, and then for dinner I had some pasta. I'm like, ma'am, that's all sugar. No, I didn't put sugar on my cereal this time. I'm like, no. Is it a carbohydrate? Yes. Carbohydrates are what? Sugar. There's no difference. But we think it is because it's pasta. It is not sweet. Okay? I watched it was a Dr. Oz one day, and he took blood from a patient, not a patient, it was some lady on the show. And she said, okay, we're going to take your baseline blood sugar level. Great. I want you to eat that whole Snickers bar. So takes a Snickers bar, eats it, does her blood sugar. Okay. Next day, they don't tell you what it is. Next day, come back, baseline again, same as yesterday. Eat a piece of whole grain bread. Let's get blood sugar. Which one would you think would be higher? The Snickers, right? Which one do you think actually was higher? The bread. It's kind of like a trick question. You already saw through it. But yeah, the bread. So when we're eating wheat and we're eating bread, even if it's gluten-free, I don't care. It's still considered sugar. And the more that you eat, the less your immune system functions. Great. That's what we want, right? Potatoes, same thing. White potato, sweet potato, not great for you. Sweet potatoes are better than white potatoes because they digest slower. And in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you a trivia question. Shoot. I just screwed up.
You gave us the answer already.
Dang it. I just gave you the answer. All right. Well, I have another question. All right. Evidence is suggesting that obesity impairs immune system. It leads to risk of bacterial and viral infection due to fewer white blood cells. It's low-grade chronic inflammation, which means your body is always fighting something. So when it actually needs the help, it's not prepared to do so because it's fighting this little war over here for no reason. And in fact, every person I know that's had COVID and had it bad or has passed has been overweight.
I have a friend who's 300 pounds.
Yeah?
And he asked his doctor what would happen if he got COVID-19. His doctor said, you will die. I mean, he said at that point, you will die.
Yep. 300-pound friend. Doctor said he would die if he got COVID. So if you are overweight we need to make some changes, and I will help you with that. It's not hard to do, but you gotta commit and do it, because it's the comorbidities with the virus that's the killer. And these are the top ones: obesity, what we just talked about, heart conditions, diabetes, a generally weak immune system, and high blood pressure. And the good news here is that these are all preventable. These are health, these are lifestyle changes. You can lifestyle your way back out of this stuff with our help. So we need to build up our defenses through nutrition. That's one thing we can be doing. We've been talking about what not to do. What should we do instead? Well, how about protein-rich foods? We do need protein. What are some good protein-rich foods? Grass-fed beef, that's a good one. Wild-caught salmon, organic chicken. Do you guys do smoothies? Yeah, smoothies are fantastic, but be careful with what protein you put in it. There's a lot of protein out there that's complete garbage. Tastes pretty good though, right? I've used them all. Yeah, there's some things you're looking for when you're looking for protein. You want it to be 100% grass-fed. Anything from a cow needs to be from a grass-fed cow. So you want your protein, if it's whey, to be grass-fed. You don't want extra sugars in it. You want it to be sweetened with maybe stevia or monk fruit, something like that, so it doesn't affect your blood sugar levels. You do not want isolate. You do not want whey isolate. You want whey concentrate. And you don't want to be pasteurized. Because when they pasteurize it, they raise the heat up, they kill it. It's no longer bioactive. It does nothing for you anymore. We want more fruits and vegetables. Foods that are alive. Potato chips are not alive. They've been dead a long time ago. And then fermented foods. Kombucha is good. Sauerkraut's good. Pickles are good. But I'm not talking the stuff you get in the aisle. I'm talking the stuff you get in the refrigerated section. The fermented pickles. The fermented Bubby's sauerkraut. That's actually alive and good for you. What about fat? Did you guys know that the number one missing nutrient in the standard American diet is actually fat?
Yeah, they say it's not so bad for you.
Well, that's what we've all been taught, right? Fat makes you fat, right? Eat fat makes you fat. Saturated fat clogs up your arteries. All wrong. All wrong. It's damaged fats that cause these problems. Sugar and inflammation cause these problems. We actually need more fat. I mean, I eat tons of fat. When I make dressing, I'm just covering it in olive oil or avocado oil. We eat avocados all week. I mean, we're eating, again, good quality meats with lots of fat on it. What else? Nuts, seeds, all good stuff. That's what we really need. But unfortunately, a lot of Americans choose convenience over quality. So when you're going to Burger King, McDonald's, which I hope none of you are doing, I don't hear that very often anymore, but I do hear a lot of Chick-fil-A. But let's go through this in our mind for a second. Now, I get it. Chicken sandwich tastes good. Okay, I get it. But that's fried. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to do a better version at Chick-fil-A. So we're going to get the grilled chicken. Is that chicken organic? No. So you know what's in there? Growth hormones, antibiotics, and all kinds of other GMO feed. Okay, great. So that's not good. But now we're going to get the sandwich. Now we add the bread. If you ever had the bread at Chick-fil-A, it's sweet. So not only is there wheat in it, there's also sugar in it. Shoot, well, that's not good. So I'll get the salad, right? So now we're gonna get the greens. So we're gonna get the salad. I'm doing a good job, right? But the salad, is that organic? No, so it's covered in pesticides. But the dressing's so good. What is it, Southwest Ranch? I've been there before. It's been years, but I've been there before. And it's got the chicken that's like frozen, sliced, whatever. Not good. Now, you should be proud of yourself for not getting the worst part, which was the fried sandwich, but it's compared to what you should be eating, it's still not good for you. Just get a donut, right? So we would call that in my office making a better bad choice. If you're going to make a bad choice, like going to Chick-fil-A, make the best version of that. So sometimes, listen, it's 11 o'clock at night and you are dying and you haven't eaten all day and you're driving and you need to do something. I get it. Make the better bad choice. Chipotle is better than that, though. Moe's is better than that. They're not perfect. They're not open that late. But they're not, I mean, again, this is why I try to plan these things out, because I can tell you, failing to plan is planning to fail, especially when it comes to eating. I could call my wife right now and ask her, hey, what are we having for Saturday at lunch? And she could tell me, because it's on the little menu I created every week. And I sound organized. I'm not that organized. But when it comes to food, I kind of am, because I do all the shopping, I do all the cooking, and I want to know what we're doing when we're doing it. But I also plan smoothie nights. Guess what? I'm going to be home late tonight. Guess what I'm having for dinner? Smoothie. And I'm not going to be disappointed because I've known about it all day. Now, Rich, if I said, I thought we were having tacos, you give me a damn smoothie, I'm going to be pissed. Just saying, because I love food and I have a emotional tie to it. So, but I need to prepare myself for what it's going to happen later or I'm going to get upset. So we need good quality fats. And where do we find these fats? Well, if you look here, we have free-range eggs, we have avocados, olive oil, nuts, beef, pumpkin seeds, fish, and it looks like a snake. Perfect. Yes. I was looking at that earlier. I'm like, that looks like a garter snake. So I wouldn't eat the snake, by the way. So if you're eating meat, we really need to think about what it ate before you ate it. So think about this. You look at the cows, you see this nice strong cow. He's walking around, he's eating all grass. And you see the other guy is just like, can't move. He's all fat and huge. And like, which one do you want to eat? The sick, fat, nearly dead one?
Ferdinand.
Yeah, Ferdinand, right? Yeah, the healthy one. Ferdinand's the healthy one, right? Yeah, the healthy one, right? So we really need to think about what is it eating before you're eating it. So, for example, do you guys know what this is? It's not even a hatchery. It's where they raise farm-raised fish. Okay, so we go back a slide and we see this salmon. That is wild-caught salmon, one of the healthiest foods on earth. Why is it so healthy? Because of what it eats. It eats other little fish, bugs, worms, all this stuff that it's supposed to. So its diet is what makes it so healthy, full of omega-3 anti-inflammatory fatty acids. Well, you take that same fish and you put it in one of these bins, well, what do you think it's being fed? Genetically modified corn and grain. So you go from this, one of the healthiest foods on earth, to what they say is farm-raised fish, farm-raised salmon is one of the most toxic foods on earth. You should never eat it. So when you go out to dinner and there's salmon, my wife loves salmon, so she's always asking, is this farm-raised or is this wild-caught? Ma'am, I think it's wild-caught. The answer is no. It's not wild-caught. They would know. Like saying, it usually does. It's like, is this grass-fed? I think it might be. No. If it was grass-fed, it would be all over that menu and they'd double charge you, right? Because they know that we want that and we'll pay for that because that's what I would want. So if you see a fish, Atlantic salmon, guess what? No such thing as an Atlantic salmon. 100% in those pens. Yeah, gross. So it's only found in the Pacific Northwest. All right, so we've talked about this before at our basic workshops, our Food 101, Nutrition 101 workshop, our core plan. This is the plan that we should all be doing. All of our families should be doing this at a minimum, okay? And it's not hard to do. More healthy fats. We want more healthy fats. We want, if we're gonna do dairy at all, which I don't really recommend doing, I want, hang up on them.
I'm sorry.
There we go. Our immune systems were just boosted. There you go. It's okay. So you need, there's a disturb button on that. You want to learn how to use that because that it'd be great. So it's okay. So if you're going to do dairy at all, it needs to be from what? Grass-fed cows. You really want it to be full fat because the fat is the good part. That's the healthy part of that, right? We don't want that watered down skim milk, whatever that is. But I don't like dairy anyway. It's kind of an immune downer anyway. It does cause inflammation because it's breast milk made for who? Cows, baby cows. None of us are baby cows. We shouldn't be doing that. So we really shouldn't be doing dairy at all. But if people are like, I'm doing it anyway, great. Grass-fed at least, please. Okay, full fat, raw if you can get it. Whole grains and ancient grains, if you're gonna do any type of grain, it needs to be whole grain or the ancient grains. Lots of different fruits and vegetables. Teach your kids how to shop for it, look for it, eat it, prepare it. And then plant-based carbohydrates, not your chips and potatoes. Now, if you have had cancer, if you have cancer, if you want to lose weight faster, if you have inflammation, if you're weight loss resistant, if you just want to be super duper healthy, the advanced plan is what you want to do. So you take the core plan and you add this on top, which means no grains, And what I mean by no grains, oatmeal is a grain. I don't know why people keep forgetting that. Oatmeal is a grain. So oats are grains. No grains at all. That includes rice. I don't care if it's brown or white, right? It includes breads, potatoes, none of that. And then only low sugar fruit. So that means your berries. And strawberries are berries. They're a little bit higher in sugar. So I'm not going to eat a pound of berries every day. That's going to go against what we're trying to teach you here. But berries are fine. Granny Smith apples, grapefruit. That's it. Now, do you have to do this for the rest of your life? Yes. No. Maybe. He's out. You said no bird food, right? No, you don't have to do this for the rest of your life. In fact, I don't eat this way every single day, but I like to practice detoxing and really honing in and really just discipline. I like to practice my discipline. So we'll do probably 3 times a year, maybe sometimes 4 times a year. We'll all commit for 30 days. And we're saying we're doing the advanced plan for 30 days. And we do a detox at the same time to help burn fat and just get rid of junk. It's a good thing to practice doing it a couple times a year. And we do not cheat during those 30 days. And then when you're done, one, you feel better. You're healthier. You probably look a little better. You probably lost a little bit of weight. You're like, I have a lot of energy. I don't even know what to do with it. And then you're like, okay, well, now I can decide, do I continue this way? Or do I sprinkle in some core plan stuff? And that's usually what we do. We usually sprinkle. You don't go straight to McDonald's, okay? You'll throw up. You'll be in the bathroom. You'll be miserable. You sprinkle in some core plan meals. And then sometimes you feel like you're getting off track too far. Hey, honey, we're going to schedule another 30 days in a month. Here's the day we're going to start. And don't do it during Christmas. Don't do it don't set yourself up for failure, okay? January is a fantastic time to do it. February is pretty good. You know, just November, December are usually kind of difficult. But you can do it. If you really want to challenge yourself, do it. We can show you how to do advanced plan meals for Thanksgiving. So then we want to talk about immune boosting nutrients. Now, this is something very important that I want to share with you guys here tonight. Well, that's not what I want. I want this. We understand that a lot of people out there, sometimes they want to boost their immune system, or sometimes they're like, I'm not feeling well, doc. What do I do? And they're scrambling. They're going. I had patients, going to the store, buying this and that and this and that, and just whatever like the marketing grabbed them. That's not what I want you guys doing. I want you to go back. If you're not feeling well, go back to the 5 essentials. Know what you're supposed to do. But what I want to do tonight is give you some tools. I want to give you kits so you know, like, this is what I do. Oh, you were exposed. This is what you do. You're not feeling well. This is what you do. You know exactly what to do. You already have it. So you guys are probably gonna be getting some supplements here tonight. But I want to make sure that you get everything that you need. So here's some immune boosting nutrients. This is number 1. Whitney talked to me the other day and said, hey, doc, real quick, if there was one thing that you could tell a patient to do every single day, what would it be? I said, take your vitamin D. She said, oh, crap. Yeah, that's really good. I said, thank you, Whitney. Yeah. So 42% of the United States population is deficient in vitamin D. Now, what that means is not what you think it means. The scale of vitamin D levels is 20 to 80. And if you fall anywhere between 20 and 80, what is your doctor going to say your levels are? Normal. 20 to 80, you're normal now. I want to show you something. And at home, you're going to have a hard time seeing this. So I'm going to try to explain it. Here's 20, and 80 is actually further up. This is 68. So if your levels are 20 or below, you now are at chance of getting rickets. Raise your hand if you're worried about rickets. Nobody's worried about rickets because most people's levels are at least 20 or above, right? But look at all these lines here. These lines here, they represent cancers: breast cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, type 1 diabetes, fractures, multiple sclerosis, heart attacks, kidney cancer, and endometrial cancer. So if your levels are below these lines, you're susceptible to all of those. So where do we really want our levels? Normal, or do we want it to be 60 or above? We really want to be on the right side of all of these lines. So our goal should not just be to maintain 20 or 30. I want to be 60 to 70, 80, and keep it there. So to do that, to maintain where you are, you really should be taking 5,000 international units a single day. Now, in the grand scheme of things, vitamin D should be free, right? Because where do we get it? We get it from the sun. But raise your hand, maybe don't raise your hand, if you're naked 30 minutes a day at noon. I didn't mean to raise my hand. I meant you raise your hand. Okay, shoot. No, don't look at me. So, yeah, great. That was recorded. Darn it. Which means, I mean, we live in an indoor, I mean, this is true. We go to work, we're inside, we're in the house. And sometimes we go outside, but we don't want to get too much sun, so we put sunblock on. We're trying to block the vitamin D from happening because there's some other risks from, cancers and stuff like that. So we really need a supplement. This is something your children should be on, you should be on, your parents should be on, everybody should be on this. Vitamin D, 5,000. So for an adult, 5,000 international units. If you have children, we have droppers for it. So you can dose them based on their weight. But here's a really neat thing. If you take vitamin D with a probiotic at the same time, the absorption rate goes through the roof. And it's really not how much you take, it's about how much you absorb, which is why I love our vitamin D, because our vitamin D capsules, one capsule, 5,000 IUs every day with 10 billion CFUs of a probiotic and a prebiotic, which is food for the probiotic so it survives. Pretty awesome stuff. It's one of our cheapest supplements. So I have patients like, I can't afford all this stuff. I'm like, $23, or what's it, 17 now, $17.99. Please just do that at a minimum. Everybody should be on that, okay? So your immune system cannot function without vitamin D, which is why it's in here tonight. So you're actually, with vitamin D, you activate your immune system. Very important. Yes? So B complex is not simple. Not a simple answer. Yes, B complex is a good thing to take. I mean, everything helps your immune system, but that's really energy production, brain function, digestion. So metabolism, yep. So it was, yeah, nervous system. I mean, it's a good overall thing. And if you're tired a lot, you're probably running through your B vitamins too fast. So you would want to supplement. So if you're taking, I mean, a lot of what we're talking about here tonight is in addition to what you should already be doing, which is like some magnesium and a multivitamin and a fish oil. So you should be doing those anyway. And the vitamin Bs are all in our Max Living men's and women's vitamins. But if you're having other issues, we could talk about that separately, but we can get you some B vitamins for sure. We have the B complex, which is awesome. So if you weren't feeling so hot when you were a kid, what was the first thing your mom wanted you to take? There you go, vitamin C. It's what everybody knows, right? Vitamin C is good for your immune system. Well, why is that? Vitamin C encourages your body to produce white blood cells. White blood cells are part of your innate immune system. First line of defense, pretty awesome stuff. Supporting your healthy nervous system, your healthy immune system, by boosting the amount of vitamin C. Where do you get vitamin C from? We all know oranges, right? But should you drink orange juice? Why not? Too much sugar. So when God created oranges, he put all that sugar in there, fructose. But what else did he put in there? Fiber. Can you sit down and eat 10 oranges? Oh my gosh. It's called diarrhea, by the way. Yes. Yeah. So fiber is there so you don't get too much sugar. Take the fiber out, make it juice. Now what? You can just have all the sugar you want. Fast track to diabetes. Okay. But I just drink juice. Yeah, doesn't matter. Not good for you. But we want the vitamin C from there. One study found that supplementation with high dose of vitamin C helps reduce the duration of illness by 17%. I'm all for that. In fact, when there was a study that came out back May 2020 showing COVID patients were responding to vitamin C, which is why we carry the liposomal vitamin C, which is the next best thing to getting it in your veins. And if anybody here gets COVID, and God forsake, you go to the hospital, which you shouldn't do, okay? But let's say you do go, you need to demand vitamin C infusion right away. They're gonna say that's not protocol. And you say, I don't care what your protocol says, I want that now. And you have a right to demand certain things. That's one of them. You make sure you do that. Another one you could ask for is zinc. So for babies and toddlers, are we nursing or not nursing? Wait, who is this? No. Okay. So for babies and toddlers, you're going to be able to do all this. So for her little one, we have the vitamin D drops. So I have vitamin D drops. They're in organic olive oil, and each drop is 500 IUs. So we can give you the equation. Yeah, 4 drops, and you get what, 2,000. Did it change? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so that makes math a little bit more difficult. Yeah, but we can still figure it out for you, Gina. But then, and for kids, again, there's kid versions of all this stuff. We have vitamin C.
Our version.
Yeah, you can do our, yeah, it's just making it a little bit less. Yeah, than buying kid versions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good tip, Mom. So Mom here says that if you take the adult versions and just scrapes them out, it's cheaper than buying kid versions of it. I've never done the math on that, but I'm all for that. Yeah. So zinc is found in every cell in your body, and it's necessary for over 300 different enzymes to function, including parts of metabolism, digestion, nerve function, and other processes, of course. But it also provides anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits, which will support your immune health, of course. But proper high quality, this is good, proper high quality zinc has been shown to help reduce the duration of sickness by 33%. I'm all for that, right? And a lot of moms know zinc is good, but did you know that zinc, to be highly absorbable, has to be taken with a couple of different other things? I didn't either. I like doing these. I get to learn new things with you guys. So, so zinc-rich foods, obviously, but you want to take it with malic acid, molybdenum, which I mean, it's been a while since I've taken chemistry, but I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, and taurine. And our Zinc Plus has those things in it. It also has one of the B vitamins in it as well. When you take all these things together, the zinc is absorbed, and that's going to reduce the duration of any illness.
What about quercetin?
Quercetin, so
That's in your body.
it's in our vitamin C. That, yes, so it's like an anti-inflammatory as well. It helps with allergic reactions. So it helps with, again, that inflammation. That's a good question. So she was talking about quercetin, and rutin, which is actually in our vitamin C. I forgot to talk about our vitamin C. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, because that's why Gina's like, what are we supposed to take? We have a couple different versions of vitamin C. We have the liposomal vitamin C, which is wrapped in fat, very, very absorbable, but not everybody's keen on the taste. I don't mind it at all, but some people are just like, no. So we do have vitamin C complete, which has the quercetin and the rutin in it, and those are in capsules. So you can just pop those and be done. Those are very good for maintaining and just preventing. But if you need more, we have the vitamin C. What are we calling it now? It used to be called C-Fizz. Oh, well, it's very easy. Vitamin C powder. And that is what you guys got to taste here tonight. Tastes like lemonade, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes like Gatorade.
Yeah, it tastes like Gatorade. Now, it's fantastic. You can get to try them. Oh, we'll make sure she gets to try some. Yeah, but the vitamin C, the kids love it. And it tastes great, and it's very high dose. So 1 teaspoon has 2,500 milligrams of vitamin C in it. So those are our recommendations. So if you're not feeling well, that's the one I would go with, or the liposomal, depending on your taste. The zinc is the capsule, and then we move on to elderberry and echinacea. And I know a lot of people love their elderberry. Did you guys get to try your elderberry shots here tonight? Yeah, they're pretty good. You can also make your own. Obviously, you could always do that. That's not a problem. But the elderberry, and a lot of moms know this has been used for years throughout history to treat infections. Powerhouse of nutrients, making them critical for immune function. One study found that patients who used elderberry syrup found relief from flu symptoms 4 days faster than those taking the placebo. Cool. And it's all natural. Even better. How about that? Amazing. No drugs. And the other one is echinacea. And echinacea is more of a preventative. We want to make sure we're not getting certain things. It's coneflower, very pretty. I want to plant some in my yard. But one review of echinacea found that supplementation decreased the risk of getting sick for over 50%, and also reduced the length of sickness by 1.5 days. So easy to do. Don't eat your flowers, okay? But elderberry, you can buy the stuff online, make your own. We have a very nice gal up in Ball Ground who makes organic, organic. Yeah, elderberry. Yeah, so that's what you got. Oh, perfect. So she's super sweet, and she makes it. It's all organic. She also uses local honey, which is also good for allergies. So it's all together. So you can buy that, or we've also put this together in what we call the Max Living IM support, or immune support. So it has echinacea in it. It has, where is that right here? The next one. It's so it has echinacea. It has elderberry, but it also has a couple other things in there. Like, where is it? Arabinogalactan, different mushrooms in it, and then beta-1,3 glucan. And we talked to a functional medicine doctor last year, and she was telling us, make sure you take your 1,3 beta glucan. Like, never heard of it. She goes, find it, get it, take it, it boosts your immune system. Like, okay, I will do that. So that is something that is part of this. So if you guys pull this sheet out, this right here, you guys should all have this at home. Did they get this at home? Okay, you guys should have this email version. If you turn it, so this is a really cool, we call this a perspective. It's about what to do when you're not feeling well, how to boost your immune system through the lens of Max Living and the 5 essentials. But if you turn it on the back, you'll see we put 3 protocols together. The first one is your immune boost. And your immune boost, this is basically as we go into what they call the flu season. Does anybody believe that the flu just like starts in the, like a weatherman, starts in the Pacific Northwest and comes down? No, there's no season of the flu, okay? The flu season really is this, ready? I'm inside more, so my vitamin D levels have gone down. And I'm eating more sugar. And I'm more stressed because my family's coming over. Right, I clean my house, whatever it is, right? Those are all immune downers. That's why what happened. Our terrain theory says that our environment became weak, our body became weak, more susceptible to infection. So if we don't want those things to happen, obviously we already talked about some of this, but vitamin D capsule tells you exactly what to do. 1 capsule a day, zinc 1 a day, vitamin C complete, take 2, and then the IM support, take 4. If you don't want to do the IM support, you want to do the elderberry syrup, I don't mind, okay? I think the IM support is going to be more powerful with those mushrooms as well. Now, let's say you've been exposed to somebody who's not feeling great. Somebody in your school, somebody in your house, somebody you work with, whatever. You've been exposed. So now you're like, okay, I need to pump this up a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a couple other things. So now we're going to do 3 capsules of vitamin D. That's 15,000 IUs a day. We're doing 1 zinc still. We're switching out the vitamin C complete with the powder because it's more absorbable. Still with the IM support, but now we're putting in Pro NAC. And if you guys have ever heard of NAC before, N-acetylcysteine. So NAC was on the news at one point because they were talking about like a blip. It helped people with COVID. Oh my God, how about it? And then it got off the news very quickly, and then everybody ran out of it because it was so helpful. And through our research, found out that NAC actually breaks up mucus. Oh, pretty important for COVID patients, isn't it? It actually decreases inflammation, decreases mucus, opens the airways. Again, pretty important thing for COVID patients. It improves not even COVID stuff, but improves COPD symptoms, bronchitis, decreases wheezing, coughing attacks, improves cystic fibrosis, asthma, pulmonary fibrosis, allergies, and infections, and it restores your natural killer cells. NAC, you heard of it now, right? So we add this into this regimen, and you would take 2 a day. We're doing the 1 teaspoon of vitamin C. We're doing curcumin. Curcumin is a natural what? Anti-inflammatory, right? It reduces inflammation in our body. Very important. And then we have something called vitamin A. So I have a little bit of a trivia question for you, and the answer is no longer sweet potatoes. Okay. What food has the most vitamin A in it? And if you get it right, I'm going to give you a t-shirt. Whitney, no.
Is it carrot?
So carrots would be number 3, and I'll give you, I might give you a t-shirt for that. No, 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 no. 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 Okay, so I'm going to give you a shirt because you got the closest without going over. Okay, now think of a disgusting food that you would not really ever want to eat. Yeah, very good. Yes. Beef liver has like 4 times the amount of vitamin A than carrots do. Liver and onions. Ugh. I used to like liverwurst. Oh, yeah. No, I used to eat liverwurst at all these events when I was a kid, and I didn't know what it was. It just tasted great. Then I found out what it was, and I was like, done. I'm done. No, thank you. Well, I might go try it again now that I know it's got vitamin A.
I can't even get
No.
it down
So-
my throat.
Grass-fed liver, yes. Yes. Oh, make sure your liver is grass-fed before you eat it. What? Okay. Now, in recovery, meaning I got it, I'm not feeling great, and I want to recover as quickly as possible. Now we're going hardcore. So take a look at the dosages now. 9 capsules of vitamin D. So with those 9 capsules, you're getting 45,000 IUs of vitamin D, but you're also getting, what, 90 billion CFUs of probiotics in there. Still with the 1 capsule of zinc, 4 capsules of IM support, that has not changed. We're going to 15 drops of vitamin A, 5 capsules of Pro NAC, still the 2 teaspoons of vitamin C, or I'm sorry, you're doubling it to 2, and then the curcumin 2. So you should just keep this. Okay, when you get your stuff, keep it so that you, oh, I'm not feeling great. I know exactly what to do. Rich.
Since I don't have my glasses, forgive me, but
Yeah.
what's like top 2 examples of recovery?
Mm-hmm. So, like, when would I go one or the other? So I would, for exposure, I'm feeling, so let's say in my office, somebody's not feeling good. Somebody coughed in my face. Most people come in here, they don't feel good. I don't care. But every once in a while, I'm adjusting something, they cough, and I'm like right there. I'm like, crap, I breathed that in. You had this to eat and this to drink. I can taste it. No. So I'm like, well, I was exposed. So whether it's COVID or nothing, it doesn't matter. You weren't feeling good, you're snotty, whatever. I would probably then move over to exposure. Okay, so what you're doing there is pumping things up. And most of the time, it doesn't get any further than that. Sometimes you either catch it late or it's got a hold of you for whatever reason. Now you're stuffy, you're achy, you don't feel good. I'm going to recovery. I want to recover as soon as possible.
And that's fever as well, probably.
Fever as well. Now, if you have a fever, what should you do? Let it go. Are fevers good things or bad things? They are good things. Why? What is your body trying to do? Kill, and yes, it's turning up the heat and creating an oven to kill off the bacteria. Why in the world would I take a Tylenol to lower that? God forbid my child doesn't feel good. Listen, I have 3 kids. I don't want them to suffer, but I also know that this is the best thing that could happen for them. I adjust them. What happens if you have a fever and you get adjusted? What happens to the fever? It spikes. It goes up. Why? Oh, no, it goes way up. Why? We remove the interference. You remove the interference that has been blocking your body's ability to do what it's been trying to do. Boom, it spikes up. So it happens every time. I adjust the baby. I tell him, the baby or child, it's going to spike. He's going to sleep. He's going to wake up feeling like $1 million every time. Vomiting, good or bad? It's good. Who enjoys it? It's my least favorite thing in the whole world, right? I do whatever I can to avoid it, but we always feel what? Better after, because why would we want to stop that? What is it doing? Your body is, again, remember, where's my magnet? Your body is always doing the right thing at the right time. A fever is the right thing. Vomiting is the right thing. Trust it. Listen to it. Your body's doing the right thing. It's getting rid of something it does not want. If you and I go and eat dinner, we eat the same food, it's been poisoned. I run and go throw up and you don't. Who are they giving the medication to? Me, because I must be sick. Who's going to die tomorrow? The person who ate and didn't get rid of it. Sorry, Patty. Didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. It's the worst, but you always like, just get it over with and I'll feel better and be done. Okay, so let's switch gears here for a moment. We're getting close to the end. You guys are being very good, very patient. Sorry you're still here?
No.
Oh, that's why he's so quiet. Okay, that's okay. He did good. So minimizing our exposure to toxins, this is one of our other 5 essentials. And they say that 70 to 90% of disease risks are likely stem from environmental sources. We're raising our kids in this environment. It's the most toxic environment we've ever been exposed to. And it's not getting better, it's getting worse. More toxins, more toxins, more toxins. And right now, or I guess last year, everybody was all over cleaning their hands with what? Toxins. Let's put toxins in our hands. Let's clean off all the bacteria. That's good and bad. And now what happens? We just created an imbalance of bacteria in our body.
State Department of Health that's creating superbugs back when I was in school.
Sure was. Not only that, but guess what else is in that? Propylene glycol. It's a xenoestrogen. It changes your chemistry. It messes with your hormones. What else? It smells good. What's that called? Fragrance. What is that going to do? Disrupts your hormones. Causes headaches. So I used to wear cologne. I'm sure we all probably used to wear cologne, perfume. You might still. I know. Morgan loves it. Yes. It's an inside joke, but the thing is, those smells, those fragrances can be anything that they want it to be because they tell you it's a trade secret. I can put whatever chemical I want in that perfume and call it fragrance. Don't have to tell you what it is. And it can destroy your health and you'd have no idea. Some people are wearing it and have no idea it's causing problems. My wife and I are going to be doing a workshop coming up here in a couple of weeks all about that. So here's some tips for reducing toxic exposure. Of course, organic would be helpful. Do you have to buy everything organic though? No. You guys have heard the Clean 15 Dirty Dozen, right? Yeah, so if you have not, look it up, Clean 15 Dirty Dozen. That's going to help you know what you have to buy organic. That means it's on the Dirty Dozen list. If it's on the Clean 15, you don't necessarily have to buy it organic. You can make that choice at that point. If it's 25 cents a pound different, I'll just get the organic, it's better. But if it's like asparagus is a big culprit, $3.99 for regular, and if it's out of season, $7.99 for organic. I'm like, nah, not having that. But it's on the clean side, so it doesn't matter. But when it's in season, they're 50 cents apart, I'll just buy the organic one. Yeah. Cold water, wild caught fish, organic chicken, grass-fed beef, we talked about this. Avoiding processed foods, clean body care and household products. That is what our workshop's going to be on in a few weeks. We'll talk a lot about that. And eliminating plastics. Try to use as little plastic as possible. It's not good for us because it leaches into whatever it is, whether it's a plastic water bottle, but you got to think of Mother Earth too, right? Plastics are awful for us. And never heat anything in plastic, by the way. Please don't do that. And then avoid smoking and excessive drinking. What about exercise? Pretty important stuff. Yes, we need to be moving. In fact, exercise may help reduce illnesses by over 40%. There's different cancers that are reduced by 26%. I think colon cancer, just by exercising 3 times a week, colon cancer goes down 26%. It's like, why are we not doing this stuff? We should just be doing this stuff. It's not that hard to do. And there was a study that found that people who did regular aerobic exercise for 5 or more days per week were 40% less likely to get an upper respiratory infection. Work out, get moving, right? So if we put it all together, we talked about nutrition, we talked about exercise, we talked about detox, we talked about chiropractic and nervous system, but it comes down to what is health really? Most people think they're healthy when they what? They feel good. Lack of symptoms, I must be healthy. We all know that that is not true. You could be sick for years before you get a symptom and you've been going down the wrong road the whole time. Which is why we never judge our health by how we feel. We never do that. We don't, because again, we don't always feel those symptoms. So we really need to change our definition of health. And health has nothing to do with how we feel, it has everything to do with how our body heals. Because if your body's healing and functioning the way God designed us to heal and function, we wouldn't be getting cancers, we wouldn't be getting heart disease, we wouldn't be obese, we wouldn't have diabetes, we can go on and on and on. We're designed to be healthy. And when you understand that you're designed to be healthy and your natural state is a state of health, and if you're not there, you should be upset about it and working hard to get back to it because you can get there. You just need to work at it. You need to have the right guidance. And that's really what all I want to do for you guys is help guide you there. So if I want to help people get healthy, I need to work with the one organ that controls all health and healing. And what is that? Nervous system. We have to balance that nervous system first before we do anything else with it. Because if your nervous system is not functioning, I don't care what you eat, I don't care what supplements you buy, it doesn't matter, none of that's going to work because you're subluxated. Again, our body needs no help, it just needs no what? Interference. Oh, how cool. I didn't realize that was the next slide. Perfect. So how do people know if they have interference, if they have subluxation, if their nervous system is not functioning? Well, sometimes we do get symptoms like headaches and neck pain and back pain, which is why they think they should go to a chiropractor because we're good for that, right? But what about people who get, like kids get ear infections, or you're tired all the time, or you have asthma, or you have numbing and tingling, or your digestive system doesn't work very well, or your thyroid doesn't function anymore? Did your doctor ever try to figure out what's causing these problems, or he just give you a drug and tell you take that? We need to find out the cause. DC, doctor of chiropractic, I say doctor of cause. We're looking for the cause of your problem, and I do not stop until I help you find that cause. And if I can't help you find that cause, I'm going to help you find a doctor who can help you find that cause, because why would you just stop? Why would you just say, oh, well, that's it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Because your structure actually affects how you function. And subluxations are your structure. And when that structure goes out of place, it causes functions to change. So on this side here, this is what a normal cervical curve looks like. This is what we all hope for. The structure is proper nervous system function. Does that look normal? My goodness, no. This is this person right here. Nobody wants to be this person, but they do exist. Is the structure proper? No. Can the function be proper? Absolutely not. So this is kind of funny. This patient came in and what are your goals? She said, I'm seeking nutritional advice. Do you think she needs a little bit more than that? Yeah. So if you were to call my office and say, you know, I'm not feeling so well today, I think I'm just going to skip this week. Do you think that's a good idea? What do you think my staff would tell you? Get your butt in here. Do you know why? Here are 2 studies as to why we say this. This one right here, this was actually done here at Life University in Marietta. Back in 1990, they were studying HIV positive patients and their CD4 cells, that's the immune system, white blood cells. And they compared some of the HIV patients who were not getting chiropractic care, getting placebo care versus ones that were actually getting adjusted. And they saw that 48% increase in CD4 immune system white blood cells for the people that were getting adjusted compared to the ones that were not. So right there, I don't have to tell you anything else. Why do you want to get in here if you're not feeling well? There you go. Boost your immune system. Why would we not want to do that? Of course you want to do that. Well, you'll never miss yours again. Wonderful. But then, you know, people are like, well, I don't want to get other people sick. So sacrifice yourself. For others? No. If you're really that worried, you call us and say, hey, listen, I'm not feeling good. I don't want to come in and get others sick. If that's what you think, fine. Guess what we're still going to say? Get your butt in here at 11 o'clock when we close and we'll clear the office for you. We will do this for you. Why? Because it's that important. Another study, this was done in the 70s. Ron Perro, he's a PhD of cancer preventive, he was the chief of cancer research at New York's Preventative Medicine Institute. And what he did, he took patients who were quote unquote healthy, compared their immune system to those that were getting regular chiropractic adjustments, compared their immune system to patients that had cancer. What did he find? The patients who were getting chiropractic care, their immune competence was 200% greater than those people who were quote unquote healthy, and 400% greater than those who were already sick. So his conclusion was that chiropractic care can maximize your genetic abilities to heal yourself. Amazing. Sounds like the stuff I've been talking about. Amazing. So did you guys learn a lot here tonight? Good. It wasn't 2 hours. Yes. Yes, almost 2 hours. Well, just to let you know, it was supposed to be 3, so you're welcome. All right. All right, so here's a little bit of follow-up for you guys, okay? Couple things. One, I want you to grab your phones. Go ahead and pull your phones out real quick. At home, do the same. Please grab your phones. And I want you to text our phone number. It's probably already plugged in there, 770-345-9355. And I want you to text the word challenge. No, shoot, I screwed it up. I changed it and I didn't change it back. Darn it. Text the word immunity, IMMUNITY, to our phone number. What that's going to do is register you for a 30-day challenge. And the 30-day challenge is not really so much of a challenge as it's 30 days of information that's going to be put right onto your phone. You're going to get some text from us. You're going to get a couple emails. You're going to get a couple of videos. Every day it's going to be something different that you're going to get to just kind of keep you moving. And sometimes it could be a little overwhelming. Listen, read it, register it. Sometimes you're going to read it and go, I can make that change today. It might be as simple as, hey, did you take your vitamin D today? Hey, did you exercise today? But sometimes it'll be like, hey, don't forget to do this. How are we doing with this? The whole purpose of these 30 days is to keep you engaged in moving forward with boosting your immune system. Okay? Now, for those of you that are here, you should have this little sheet right here that says sign me up. We have some pretty awesome events coming up over the next month or so. So the next one coming up is our Friends and Family Week, but we're going to talk about that here in a second. The next one is our Shop with a Doc. I'm excited for this because I haven't gotten to do this in 2020 or 2021. And this is where we're going to take you guys shopping. I'm going to take you guys to Kroger. I haven't gotten permission, so I'm just doing it anyway. But we're going over to Kroger, and I'm going to take you guys shopping, and I'm going to show you how I shop, show you how to read labels, and we're going to do this as a community because there's stuff that I don't know, and we're going to talk, and we're going to chat. We're going to have a good old time. It takes about an hour and a half, sometimes 2, depending on how much we want to learn. And we'll go through different aisles. Not all the aisles need to be gone through. And I'll show you better versions of certain things. Some people are like, if I was going to have a potato chip, which one should I get? The answer is what? None. Okay. But in real life, right, we make those better bad choices. If you were to eat a potato chip, which one would be the best of the worst? I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, because I've had a potato chip in the last 5 years. I have. Okay, that's a shocker, right? So we're going to teach you guys this, and it's limited space. We might have to do 2 because it's been so long since we've done them. I know a lot of people have been asking. I think I can only take about 15 people at a time. So if we get a great response, awesome, we'll do it again. So all you gotta do is check out, put your name and email, phone number, and then check off that you wanna come and we'll sign you up. The next thing is Whitney's favorite thing, which is our Thanksgiving recipe night. It's gonna be over at Trinity Church. It's gonna be where is it? Oh, Monday, November 15th, over at Trinity Church, which is 5 minutes around the corner from here. And this is where she's gonna create this whole elaborate menu and they have all the recipes. You get to pick the recipe that you wanna make. It's gonna be a healthy potluck Thanksgiving style dinner. There's gonna be turkey, stuffing, all the fun stuff. So we're gonna be doing that on the 15th. And then on the 11th, my wife and I are gonna be doing a personal care, what do we call this? Personal care, product safety with Georgie, it says. Yes, Georgie and I, my wife and I will be teaching this class. It's really, I want you guys to understand what these chemicals are that are in your personal care products, whether it's shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, toothpaste, makeup, whatever it is. I want you to know what these things are doing to us, how they're affecting our health, how to read these labels, how to recognize when things are good versus things are bad. And then we're going to give you some samples of what we use at home. Because listen, like for example, deodorant, you should be using deodorant without aluminum, without propylene glycol, and some of it works. And if you guys have tried it, some of it doesn't work, right? I've tried just about every deodorant there is, so I know which ones actually do work and which ones don't work. So we'll show you this stuff. Okay, it's all, again, just resources for you. And then I think that's all of those things. Now, the Friends and Family Week coming up, that's in 2 weeks from now. It's the first week of November. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be raising money for Serenade Heights. And Serenade Heights is a local group that is there to help single moms get back on their feet. In fact, next Thursday night, a week from tonight, I'm going down to the church and I'm doing a talk for them about shopping smart and nutrition just to help them get through this stuff. But we're gonna be raising money for them to help them get the resources that they need that week. So what we do is typically, if you have a friend or family member that would like to come and get a checkup at the office and find out how well they're healing and see what we can do to help them, it's usually 120. We do it for 60 that week for that friend or family. And we take all 60 of those dollars and we donate it to Serenade Heights. So it's really just you're helping your friend's helping us help them. We take $0 out of this. Okay? So if you have a friend or family member that you would like to get in here, you guys might have this at home. Write them down. Make an appointment for them. Now, not everybody's like, oh, I don't want to make an appointment for my friend. Understand that? We have so many different ways we can get this information to them. If you would like me just to call them, they have a problem, they want to talk it out with me first to see if they're comfortable, that's fine. They want to come and do a free 10-minute consultation during a shift. I'll take them back there. I'll answer any questions they have. They just want to come and meet me or come and watch you get adjusted, do it. However we can help more people, we're always going to be in for that. Okay? So I thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys learned a lot. And now we just need to take some action on this, right? Do something with this information. Those of you at home, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Yes, you're welcome.